This video tutorial will use KeyDigital Management Software Pro's 4K AV-over-IP Builder tool to define your AV-over-IP system details, configure encoder and decoder units, and load the system file. The KDMS Pro System Builder tool is compatible with all KeyDigital 4K AV-over-IP products, KDIP922ENC-2 encoder, KDIP922DEC-2 decoder, KDIP1022ENC-2, and KDIP1022DEC-2, and the previous generation KDIP822, 922, and 1022 series encoders and decoders. You will need a Windows PC and KeyDigital Management Software Pro version 1.2.33 or later. You will also need your encoders, decoders, and the provided USB-A to micro cable to configure each unit. You may power your units from a PoE network switch or with the provided power supplies. If you are using a PoE network switch, please be sure to follow the instructions found in our Verified Network Switches Guide before connecting any encoders or decoders. In this scenario, we will build a KeyDigital 4K AV-over-IP system with 4 encoders and 6 decoders, including a 2x2 video wall. The system will have IP scheme 192.168.1.x. Plan your desired IP addresses ahead of time. Remember that each unit requires 2 IP addresses. The main IP address is for inter-system communication, and the video IP address is for the transmission and reception of the video stream. Open KDMS Pro software, go to the AV-over-IP System tab, and choose Build via USB to open the Switch Configuration tool window. Enter a desired name for your system. We will call ours Example System. Enter the number of inputs and outputs for the system. Remember, our example system has 4 video sources and 6 video displays. The input and output tables are now updated with 4 and 6 rows respectively. Enter the desired starting IP address for our encoders and decoders. Make sure there's no overlapping. After entering, click outside of the cell for the values to update in the input and output tables. Enter a user-friendly name for each encoder and decoder. These names will show later in the user interface of KDMS and the free KeyDigital iOS app. For video walls, use the video wall section in the top right. Enter the quantity of video walls in the system. Enter the ID number of the first decoder in each video wall. That is the decoder that's connected to the top left display. Enter the width and height of the video wall, the number of decoders horizontally and vertically. Our example system has one 2x2 video wall. And enter a desired name for the video wall. With all system info entered, we can now press the Start button to advance to the next step. Follow the instructions and connect encoder 1 with USB. If you're just powering up the unit, allow 1 minute for boot up. Press Continue, and we see from the text beneath the progress bar that KDMS collects settings, writes the new settings, and then loads the system file into the unit so it knows its place within the system. When completed, KDMS now prompts us to connect the next encoder and press Continue. We see that input 1 is green, indicating that the load was successful, and that input 2 is blue, indicating KDMS is currently working on that unit. We continue this process for the remaining encoders. We are now able to connect the USB cable to our first decoder and load the configuration file. The process for decoders is identical as the process for encoders. So one by one, we connect and load to all 6 decoders. As an example, in this instance, KDMS Pro informs me that the USB connection with decoder 4 is not detected. I properly reconnect the USB and press Continue. All inputs and outputs are now green, and we see that all 10 devices have been configured successfully. We can now press the Exit and Rescan button so our network can be scanned for our system. Of course, at this time, your network switch must be configured according to our setup instructions, and all encoders and decoders must be connected. However, if you do not yet have your network switch, you can do the following steps later. Your units are now completely configured. Allow access on the Windows Defender firewall window. And if your laptop is connected to multiple networks, you can choose the desired network to scan. The KDMS Pro scan takes approximately 60 seconds to find all compatible devices on the network. We see the information from our 4x6 AVoIP system has been pulled in with all units healthy as indicated by black text, and that the system includes the 4-panel video wall. KDMS Pro and the free KeyDigital iOS app feature user-friendly video wall management. Choose the video wall grouping from the displays on the left side of screen and press the video wall button at the bottom center. Choose the desired source from the right-hand column, then click and drag your mouse diagonally across the video wall, or click each display one by one for individual content per display. We may also enable source and display control settings in each unit for an abbreviated IR control panel for popular displays, cable boxes, SAT boxes, and streamers. For demonstration purposes, our system includes 4 DirecTV boxes, Samsung Pro video wall displays, and Philips Pro standalone displays. Select the encoder from the device tree, and in the source control settings section, we choose from this drop-down list. The process is the same for decoders. Select the decoder from the device tree and choose the display type. I must now rescan so that KDMS can parse the information to populate the source and display control panels. Upon choosing the display or source, we see the control panel at the bottom left and right corners of the screen. Switching to a different source for the display is achieved by pressing the button for that desired source. And for the source control panel, if we were to press that numerical pad icon, we would see a number pad for discrete channel entry on our cable SAT boxes. And that is everything. We have additional resources available, including our one-page installation guide, our quick setup guide for adding an encoder or decoder to an existing system, and a similar video we've made on KDMS Pro's System Editor tool, which you'll use if you need to change the IP scheme or other settings to your entire system. Thank you for viewing.